I moved to Northwest Arkansas back in 2020, over 3 years ago. I had a laundry list of reasons why I moved here versus many other parts of America. Today we're looking over some of those reasons and we're asking the question, do those reasons still line up? Do they still exist? Have they changed? And today we're covering all of those specific reasons. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the cesspool known as Illinois for way too many years. Broker up there, and I was looking for the best place to live in America. I searched high and low across all of America, and I ended up in Northwest Arkansas, and it is by far the best place to live in America. By far. If you're ever in the area, if you want to know more about why I chose Northwest Arkansas out of anywhere else in America, let's meet up for coffee. Let's talk on the cell phone, text message, whatever the case is. Let's talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas out of anywhere else in America. And if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. Literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? What are all the cool things you need to know about Northwest Arkansas? Like all the things you need to know. Boop, 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 boop. Package, ship right to your home. Right to your home. Enter your name below. Enter your address below. I'll get that package shipped to you right away. Literally, it's full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. And also, a side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Alright, so if you weren't aware, I actually am a relo from Chicagoland area. Terrible place to live. And I reload tried to find the best place to live in America. And obviously Northwest Arkansas is by far the best place. And one of the core reasons I moved here, this is a long list of reasons why, we'll cover some more in here in a second, but one of the core reasons why I moved here was on my list was I wanted mountains, I wanted better housing, better taxes, a growing area, and 4 seasons. And so that I know it's a lot in one package, but with Northwest Arkansas, it still hits all those notes. Back in 2020, it hit those notes. In 2021, 22, 23. In 2024, it's looking like it's going to hit all those things again. The biggest things that can change, obviously, they still have they're mountains. I mean, mountains. You know what I'm saying. But obviously, still 4 seasons. I love the fact that we can go from a chillier winter, like low 32, sometimes like high 20s at the coldest during the night, and then like 40s or 50s during the day, sunny times. So weather doesn't really change that much. And then we have obviously the mountains, you can't really change that. And then on top of that, it really comes down to affordable housing, affordable taxes. Taxes actually gotten cheaper here because of the way Arkansas runs things. And then the thing with affordable housing is the fact that Fayetteville, Bentonville is a little different, but all of Northwest Arkansas is definitely more affordable housing than almost anywhere else in America. Now what I mean by that is that you can find cheaper places to live in America, definitely. But it's really, really challenging to find affordable housing, great jobs, basically what I say is you can live, work, and play all in NWA, and you can't often find that in many places in America. You can look at Huntsville, Alabama, cool place. There ain't much going on over in Huntsville. You can look at like Salt Lake City, and you can look at Provo and Farmington over in Utah. Cool place, mountains, kind of 4 seasons, but it's really expensive over there. You can go down to Phoenix. You can go to all these different places. Phoenix is god-awful hot. But long story short, there's not many places in America that fit the bill for that many things. Northwest Arkansas did and still does, and for the future, looks like it will be the best place to live in America for those core reasons. And the second reason why I think Northwest Arkansas is by far the best place to live in America, and does it still hold true today when I first moved here? And again, the answer is yes to this one, because part of the reason I moved here was because of Walmart, JB Hunt, Tyson, and the university. Now, what I mean by that is not because I work for any of them, but it is an economic powerhouse. When you have the Forbes or Fortune 1? The Fortune 1 company, the biggest retailer in the world that exists here. Tyson, the biggest food manufacturer in the world, exists here. JB Hunt, one of the largest transportation companies in the world, exists here. And we have a 32,000 university in Northwest Arkansas, plus other colleges as well. But that's the main focus, with huge fandom when it comes to Razorbacks. Economic powerhouse. And the reason I chose Northwest Arkansas is because if one of them failed, it's going to be fine. Things will keep turning on. I mean, we have all these economic things going on. We have trail systems, we have events, we have this, we have that. So if one of them failed, which is highly unlikely, then we'd still be moving on. Whereas other places in America, that are up and coming and growing, if something failed, it's donezo. If you go over to like Huntsville, Alabama, if the Department of Defense ever pulled out of there, it's done. If you go over to parts of Salt Lake City, Utah, there's a couple big companies over there, but it's not looking so good. If you go over to Tulsa, so there's other places in America that are up and coming, but Northwest Arkansas is very specific because it has like 4 major powerhouses that are doing really well for themselves, first off. And so it's nice to see that continue to happen and for the foreseeable future. So again, the answer is yes. It still has all those things go for it when it comes to those economic powerhouses. And before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to Northwest Arkansas? Enter all the information below. I make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What's going on in downtown Rogers? What new business are moving here? What's going on in the amphitheater? What new cool things happen in downtown Fayetteville? What new... So many things all the time. Enter your email below, enter your name below. I'll make sure that you get that email every single Friday. But something to be aware of, something to be concerned about. You will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third reason why I still think Northwest Arkansas is by far the best place to live in America, and this is a very unique reason that still holds true today, that I have yet to find a area that does something like this. And it's called the Northwest Arkansas Council. Now you're thinking like, woo, council of politics, yay. This is let me tell you what it is. The Northwest Arkansas Council essentially is it's gonna be kind of brutally honest here, is a slush fund of money for big companies to dump money into, and then they deploy the money back into the community. That's really what it boils down to. Now, the Northwest Arkansas Council sits aside Northwest Arkansas. It's not like part of like the whole thing. It's not like a council that like manages like every city. What it is that it's not a governmental, but it's a nonprofit that helps curate and projects within Northwest Arkansas. For instance, they work with XNA, the airport, to make sure that we bring more, they help bring bigger flights into Northwest Arkansas, aka Southwest. They help with workforce development. They help with, obviously, affordable housing. They work with healthcare. They are basically a overarching nonprofit that gets involved, cutting red tape, doing things that cities oftentimes can't. So the council is very unique because it truly is a council. It's like, obviously board of directors. A lot of the people that are in mid to large companies sit on the board, and they have presidents, vice presidents, and people that work in there work into each development. Anyways, not many like the council exist in America that actually oversees a lot of things. Like for instance, they oversee the Razorback Greenway, which is a 40-mile pathway that exists in Northwest Arkansas for its paves that people go back and forth on. Anyways, they hold the branding for that. They help the branding along with Northwest Arkansas. They bring in city planners every single year to make sure that we are on track for growth and we're not missing any corners along the way. So the council does all those things to help guide and direct Northwest Arkansas, and not many places nor cities have that at all. And the fourth reason why I think Northwest Arkansas is still by far the best place to live in America, and this is one of the reasons that I was really looking for when I first moved here, was planning of the area. Now, if you lived in Chicagoland or a faster growing metropolitan area back in 2016 to 2020, or whatever the case is, cities didn't give a rip where they put things. Like they just like, yeah, go here, and it didn't make a difference. Like Chicagoland grew so fast that the actual like city road system was god awful. We had tollways. Like the tollways were supposed to end. The tollway money was supposed to go to actually to kids for education. Yeah, that went really well. So every major city has its own little politics. I only know Chicagoland, but long story short, opposite of Chicagoland area, Northwest Arkansas had plans for everything. They designed it well. Fayetteville had their 2040 plan. Here's what this is going to do. Bentonville has its Bentonville Grows program, essentially, where they map out the whole area, what they're going to do. Bella Vista had their stuff. Pea Ridge, Farmington. Every city has their own growth plan. Springdale, Rogers, they all have their own growth plans and intention for growth itself and expecting growth itself and then leveraging growth itself. Whereas other places in America, they're like, oh wow, things, and they just do things. Whereas this area, it's very well planned, as much as possible. I mean, you can only do so much, but they definitely have plans and people in place for when things happen, and they have leveraged that very well and done very well for themselves, and they are continue to plan and reshifting things as they go along. I mean, plans have changed since I first moved here. Don't get me wrong, but they've adjusted, and they've adjusted well to the influx of growth, plus new adventures that along the way, aka a disease of sorts, more financial money coming in, etc. So they've planned very well for that. And the fifth and final reason why I think Northwest Arkansas is still by far the best place to live in America, and this is probably one of the core reasons I moved here, and it still rings true today, and I'm sure it rings true to you, is their investment into the outdoor spaces. And I came from Illinois. Half the year, you're trapped inside. Anything north of here, you're probably trapped inside for a good part of the year, honestly. So when I'm making the move from Chicagoland area to a different location, I wanted to make sure that there's great outdoor spaces. And they have done fantastic with that. Adding more trail systems, adding cool things, even things that I'm not necessarily participating in, like obviously like a lot of whitewater rafting, more things with rock climbing, and even obviously a lot more mountain biking stuff, like more trail systems, more mountain biking, more events, more gravelers, more 5Ks, more outdoor stuff. Northwest Arkansas is really designed around the outdoors. A lot of the restaurants here are designed around the outdoors. A lot of the spaces around here, parks and things, are designed around the outdoors. And so seeing that investment from city to city, from the Northwest Arkansas Council to everyone else, everything is designed around the outdoors, and that has not changed. It's actually sped up quite a bit. Actually, it's hilarious that Arkansas went from like a little bit of money when it comes to outdoor recreation and back in like 2016, 2017, and in the course of like 5 to 7 years, turned it into one of the biggest factors in Arkansas state. It's one of its biggest line items of like revenue is outdoor recreation. And we can all say and know and exactly where that came from, because in other parts of Arkansas, it's interesting to say the least. But Northwest Arkansas is by far the gem of the state, and we all know where a lot of the outdoor recreation money comes from here. But it is interesting to see a full $1 billion industry being built in Northwest Arkansas in the matter of literally 5 years. And so outdoor recreation space continues to grow, continue to focus, and it is doing very well for itself. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries, link below. Maybe you're a adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. There's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you, so go ahead and download it and you usually get down here. Also, when you come down here, I can give you a $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, you can check out some home for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. Alright guys, let's see you next one.